18th of November, 1987, three Dardin family members were found brutally torn apart in their home in State or Noise. Head of family husband and father Dardin was not found and suspected of killing his family. However, the next day, the whale was also found, but not alive anymore. 10 years later, serial killer confessed his crimes, but the case still remained unsolved. The city was very small, except for a couple of shops and gas stations. There was almost nothing in the year 1986. Russell Whale Dardin, who preferred to call himself by his middle name, finished training to work as a treatment plant operator. The whale was a native of Mount Carmel, and after completion of training bought the trailer and moved to Inu to be closer to your work. His wife is Ruby Ellen Dardin, originally from Albion, will soon move to Inu with his 2-year-old son Peter. They rented the land next to Highway 37 where the man worked at a local farm. Couple whale wife Ruby Ellen Dardin, who also preferred to call herself by her middle name, worked at a stationery store in Mosernon. Whale and Ellen were avid church parishioners, and when they didn't work they played in a musical ensemble at a local Baptist church. Whale was the lead singer and Ellen played the piano. In the year 1987, Ellen got pregnant with her second child. They were gonna name him either N or Casey, depending on the sex of the child. When the child was born, Whale put his trailer up for sale and decided to move from this area to a safer place. The area they lived in became increasingly violent, and the family didn't feel safe living in it. In just 2 years, 15 murders were committed in Jefferson County. With increasing violence, the whale has become so protective of his family that once denied entry to his home to a young woman who asked to use their phone. Mother Whale says that her son wanted to go back in time, their place of residence. 18th of November 1987, the man did not show up at work and did not inform anyone that he will not. He was an extremely reliable worker, and his boss counted that something happened. He got worried when calls to his house went unanswered. Then he called his parents, who said that didn't see him. The man's parents got worried too when they called and no one came to the phone. Whale father Don Dardin called the sheriff's office and agreed to go to Vina's spare house key and meet the sheriff's deputies at the whale house. Making it to the trailer, they knocked on the door, and when no one answered, used the spare key to enter it. Inside on the bed lay bodies: Ellen, her 3-year-old son Peter, and newborn daughter. Peter and Ellen tied up, plugged their mouth with duct tape, and beaten to death with a baseball bat found at the crime scene. The baseball bat was Peter's birthday present from a whale earlier this year. Ellen was beaten, and relatives did not believe that whale will hurt its family. A team was quickly assigned to search it up, but the search ended quickly when a group of hunters found his body in a wheat field about 2 kilometers from home. The whale was injured 3 times, once in the forehead, in the skull, once in the right side of the face, and once in the left cheek. His genital organ got cut off. The car was parked near the police station in Benton Town, 20 kilometers from his house. His car was splattered with blood, and the police concluded he most likely was killed in her. The autopsy showed that he was killed 2 hours after the rest of the family. After this incident, many residents bought guns and carried them everywhere. To protect yourself before kills, locals used to leave their doors unlocked, but now they double-checked to make sure. Sheriff from neighboring Franklin County told that locals were so afraid to let strangers into their homes. What if someone ran out of gas on a country road? Then instead of to knock on doors, they would be more lucky to walk on the highway or catch a ride. More than 100 people were abandoned, but the police were baffled. They couldn't understand the motivation for killing. No one could say anything bad about the Dardins family. With the trailer was okay. No sign of hacking. The back door was left open. Lead tape recorder, portable camera, money, and jewels lay prominently, but none of them were stolen. The attackers were also attempt. Police found a small amount marijuana in the trailer, but that wasn't enough to assume that they were involved in the drug trade. Actually, though, police began to suspect that marijuana could belong to criminals. Family wasn't known for those. I was in debt or knew someone who held a grudge against him. A stack of papers was found in the house with sports results, and the police wondered, wasn't the whale in game debt, however, and that was quickly ruled out. The murders were so brutal what the locals started believing that satanic cults are to blame, but police expert ruled them out. Since cults often severely mutilated bodies and left symbols and lit candles at the crime scene, police didn't count that they were chosen randomly, but it was very personal. Whale mother Joanna said, I think someone wanted to whale selling drugs, but he refused. There is a chance that someone liked Ellen, and she wouldn't accept his courtship, and he took all his rage out on both of them. We just don't know, said sheriff with little leads. The case started to cool down. Joanna worked hard to keep the public interested in the case. She was calling the detectives throughout the 90s, offering possible leads, which she collected, or asked for any new information on the case. She managed to collect more than 3,000 signatures from city residents asking for a show. Oprah and Winfrey he sorted this case out on TV, but the producer and Went refused her, saying that crime was too violent to be shown on daytime television. America Bridge Vant also refused to broadcast this case, but in the end launched program in 1998. The police were unable to find some new leads were suspects. In the year 1998, Tomlin got arrested for slashing the necks of two girls next to the door. Texas. One of the girls survived and was able to identify the killer. He was convicted and sentenced to death for this and another crime committed by him earlier in the year 1999. While in jail, he started confessing to a number of other murders which he claimed made a hitchhiking trip. Among these murders he spoke that killed the Dardin family in the 2010 year. Sells claimed that in November 1987 Jefferson County road trip, he met a whale in a truck parking lot, and the whale invited him to his house for dinner. After eating, Sat said that the whale offered to have a threesome with him and Ellen. He claimed it was a sexual offer. Uncontrollable rage erupted in him, and he killed the whole family. However, friends, family, and police didn't believe it, considering how the whale protected his family. To even think about what? To let strangers into your cells. Has been interviewed many times, and during these interrogations his story changed several times. The accused gave details which matched the general facts already reported publicly. However, when asked about the details, there were inconsistencies which have not been revealed to the general public by Joanna. Originally considered Village as a killer, also in the year 2000 did not believe his words. But the years went by, and she was perfectly sure that he's not guilty. Sells confessed to more than 70 murders, but the police were only able to tie him to 22. The Dardin family was not one of them. A man was executed in 2014. It's been over 33 years. I could not find a motive for the brutal murder. Family Dardin case remains open to this day.